Brendan's advice to aspiring comedians.
So I think getting kids to deal with that is going to be the parents' kind of biggest obstacle.
I would love to try comedy. I told you one of the first times I met you, like,
hey guy in the new era hat. Hey guy that looks like every other guy that's one of the fucking co-hosts of a podcast in fucking LA or in America in general. Guy that looks like every other archetypal guy who's a fan of Rogan, who likes jujitsu, who likes fucking whiskey, right? Who likes to fucking hunt, who likes to fish. Every guy that looks like every other stereotypical guy in that field, please, for the love of God, if you actually do want to become a stand-up comedian, maybe Brendan isn't your person to go ask advice from. Maybe he's not your guy. Not because he doesn't know what he's talking about, because he kind of does, but his come up was a cheat code. He knew Rogan and Brian Callen. You can't ask him for advice. He's not going to give you good advice because he was a cheat code. He got a stand-up special 1.5 years into fucking stand-up with Showtime. He got given a special 1.5 years, I think maybe 2 max, into stand-up. That isn't your guy to ask advice from. Wrong guy. If Brendan would have come up the normal way, I think he's a good guy to go and ask advice from because he's so terrible at it, right? Because he's so shit at it. If Brendan did it the conventional way and came up without no major help from Rogan, I think he would be a good person to ask advice from. Because he was terrible, he's going to give you good advice because he had to graft. He wasn't like a savant. He didn't come out of the womb incredibly funny and on the stage, his first special crush. No, he had to kind of work for it. That's what he asked him. But because he got his come up through Rogan, don't. There's a guy, right? Oh yeah, there's an episode of Joe Diaz. Maybe I'll make a clip of it later. There's a guy on Joey Diaz's podcast who I listened to today who said earlier, he's a guest on Joey Diaz's podcast. He said that he moved to New York because the Comedy Store is pretty political. And he basically went on to explain that nobody gets booked at the Comedy Store who isn't represented by somebody. So you have to have an agent or a booker to get into the Comedy Store. And he said there's a potluck thing that they do every night, but the potluck thing, 7 of the slots are already filled with regulars. So they only give you a couple other slots. And you also can't leave. You have to stay. So all this stuff, I didn't know. So this guy is like, it's kind of associated with Joe. You think you kind of get a bring in. This guy said you can only get into the Comedy Store. You can only perform in the Comedy Store if you know somebody or if you've got an agent that can kind of get you in. So the stand-up comedy scene is rigged. These guys have to make it seem like, oh, if you do your 10,000 hours, if you do your sets and reps, you're going to... No. There are a bunch of people, you see them on Kill Tony. There are a bunch of people on Kill Tony who get on that stage who are fucking... Some of them are awful, don't get me wrong. But there's a bunch of people who get on Kill Tony who are like 10 years into stand-up. And Kill Tony's their biggest gig. 10 years into stand-up. They've not been passed at any fucking club. So, if Brendan made it as far as he made it, it's mostly to do with his relationships. Not to do with his effort. Not to do with his fucking talent. Not to do with his skill. Not to do with his fucking ability to craft jokes. It's most to do with his friends. So don't ask him for any advice. He's the worst person to give advice to because he got a big, big helping hand from Rogan and Brian Callen.
I would love to try
So
stand-up.
fucking do it. Why not?
Bro,
That's what I don't get.
Tony. I watch Kill Tony so much that I'm like scared in a way.
Okay, he's already failed. Watching Kill Tony as your barometer how to make it in stand-up, you already failed. Watching Kill Tony and that being your example of what stand-up is, you've already failed. That's a freak show. That's more like an open mic freak show. That isn't like a representation of what stand-up is. Just go and do fucking stand-up. You don't need to watch Kill Tony to go do stand-up. But again, he's in that world, isn't it? He's a fan. He's a proper, he's a proper acolyte. He's in it. He's in there. He's fucking in there. He's in there. He's probably got, once maybe he's got a Joe Rogan tattoo.
You shouldn't be, though, because Kill Tony is 1 minute. So that 1 minute would be tough for Bill Burr, dude.
Yeah.
That's a good point. He makes a good point.
So they're set up, and have you seen Bill Burr on Kill Tony?
Yeah, he gets mad at Tony. Alive. He rips Tony apart.
Yeah, which Kill Tony's crushing it. And it's very entertaining. But as far as like comedy goes, like you wouldn't want to start on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
Like they've built some huge names, and God bless them, and those people are so talented. But you want to do it the right way. Go to open mic.
That's actually good advice. That's actually good advice. I hold my hands up. That's actually good advice. It's funny he says that because he didn't do that. He famously said, open mics. I wish I could get. Maybe there's a clip of it. he's famously very anti open mics. Brendan is very, very, very anti open mics. Let's see if we can find a clip. But I remember back in the day, he said some very nah.
Right.
But that's the thing. People are like, oh, you didn't have to do the open mic thing where no one's around. I'm like, well, hold on. You mean open mics where it's full of other comics hating on the comics who are performing? My open mic was in front of 550 people, tons of pressure.
Yeah.
You see how much of a dickhead he's being in that comment even? Because I didn't do open mics in front of nobody. But then he says, because I didn't do open mics in front of other comedians. So he's discounting and dismissing the benefit of doing open mics because nobody's there. But then he's also saying open mics are only full of other comedians hating on each other. You can't have it both ways. But he didn't do open mics because he didn't want to perform in front of a crowd that wasn't his. Which I understand, by the way. I kind of get it. Because his come up was weird. Like, he got his come up because they did TFATK live shows. And in that TFATK live shows, he'd do stand-up sets. So in the beginning, when TFATK live was popular, he'd be performing to a sold-out crowd, 500 plus. That's great because it's a home crowd. They kind of give you confidence. They laugh at all your jokes because they know you, they love you, and you're basically doing a live podcast, kind of. But it's not really a good training ground for stand-up because you're playing to a home crowd. They love you. They know everything about you. They wanna just be around you. Just wanna watch what you're doing. They don't give a fuck if you're doing a handstand on stage. They're gonna fucking laugh. But if you wanna be a better comedian, it's probably not the best way to go about doing things. Probably not the best way about doing things.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Now, and then your first special was Showtime. How many years after that?
3.
Do you feel like when
3
you
and
look
change.
back, do you say that was a crazy fast,
Crazy,
fast,
insane,
to do a special that
insane,
yeah,
nuts,
yeah, it's
nuts.
wild.
By the way, he's just mimicking what he's saying. He doesn't believe this. He believes he deserved it. He believes it made sense. If somebody would have said, "Oh my god, that was a great time. That made all the sense because you're really popping," he said, "Yeah, it made all the sense." He's only saying that because Tim Dillon said that.
Did you do another one tomorrow?
No,
Yeah.
no, I'd probably wait.
Lie.
2 years. I might do something, but not a hour special.
When you look back at the special, how do you feel about it now?
Everyone
hates everything they do.
I hate everything.
Tim Dillon gave him an out. Tim Dillon should have kept quiet. He should have just ended and said, "How do you feel about it now?" He gave him an out by saying, "Yeah, everyone feels bad." Now he knows where he's trying to go. He should have left it there and said, "How do you feel about the special now? How do you feel about it?" And just left it there. And then wait, because I think Brendan was going to say, "Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy. I did a good job." But I think because Tim Dillon said it was bad, it kind of hinted that it was shit. He's now going to say, "Oh yeah, I hate everything I do. I hate everything." No, you don't. You think You'd Be Surprised was awesome. You think it was great. No, you don't.
My podcast, I hate my set I'm going to do tonight. I hate the set I'm going to do tonight.
Yeah. How can you hate a set you're going to do tonight? Again, he knew it honestly. This is why, to be fair to Brendan, I'm going to take back some of my criticism. To be fair to Brendan, one thing you can't say he's bad at is dick sucking. One thing you can't say he's bad at is dick sucking. He said some bad shit about, like, we could especially come to Rogan. He exposed Rogan for cheating on his wife, bald guys that slang dick and stuff. Rogan still kept him in his bosom. He's annoyed and pissed off a lot of Rogan's friends. Rogan has not ditched him. So Brendan's very good at kind of maintaining a relationship with people that he knows are going to be beneficial. He's very good at keeping people, sweet and ball washing. Very good here. Like, yeah. I hate even if something we have to do. I hate everything. Oh, stand up is so hard. Oh, the craft of stand up. He knows to say the right things, get people to kind of feel like he's one of them.
I hate everything.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what I accomplished short amount of time.
Yeah.
I think
it's crazy.
I think I'm the fastest person to get a big network special in under.
By the way, do you think it'll happen again? Do you guys think it'll happen again? Do you guys think we'll see in our lifetime somebody pop from a podcast who's kind of funny and then get a show and then get a comedy special deal as fast as Brendan will? Will it ever happen again, do you think? I'm kind of surprised it has happened before or has happened again. I'm kind of surprised. Given the amount of like funny people that exist on social media, I'm surprised that happened. But then I'd wonder if all of them people have been offered, but they turned it down. Like, I wonder if people like a Drewski have probably been offered a special, but you turn it down because you're like, no, I'm not ready yet. I wonder if those guys have more sense than Brendan. Because I think there's a lot of funny Instagram comedians who have big followings, much bigger than fucking Brendan's, millions of followers, get tons of views, who I'm sure Hulu or HBO or Amazon or Netflix would have approached and be like, hey, we're going to give you a deal. Like, here, like, you blew up. Like, you did this fucking dance and now you're the biggest thing since sliced bread. Here's a special. I'm sure they would have given them something. I'm sure it would have happened. I'm surprised that had happened. But I think if you're sensible, you wouldn't take it. Maybe, yeah, Matt Rife, maybe. Maybe Matt Rife, maybe.
For a certain amount of years.
Right.
Which is a blessing and a curse.
Oh, what a statement. Exactly, NJ. What a statement. He destroyed the ladder beneath him. So true. So true. I wonder. Let's play this out. I wonder if Brendan inadvertently was one of the reasons why Showtime went under. Because imagine how much Showtime must have spent on that special. That fucking special. You'd be surprised, right? You'd be surprised. You'd fucking be surprised, right? Look at this. You'd
Powerful bunch.
be surprised. Big up Magnus. Big up
Gringo Poppy
Magnus.
2, where are you? Oh, that's right. That was Burn the Boats.
Exactly.
Bindon is funnier than Burp. Joe, David Lucas, Theo Vaughn, Whitney Cummings, Andrew Schultz, Akash Cringe, etc. We need the goat back.
We need him
Bean
so
cheese,
bad.
bean cheese, bean cheese.
We need him back so badly. Prayer hands in the chat. Prayer hands in the chat. We need him back so badly. Big up Blood Clot Wingers. We need him back so fucking badly. Prayers hands in the chat. We need fucking Brendan back. Brendan, please come back to stand up. Please. Gringo Papi Dos, please. This is the trailer of Gringo Papi. This is the trailer of You'd Be Surprised on Showtime. Check this. Come on.
You ever been so high before you forget what language you speak? My high brain's like, bro, add to the conversation. I'm like, in what language though? Is that French? Can you speak French? I was so high. The weirdest thing that happened to me is I watched my Idol sex tape. Remember Hulk Hogan in the 90s? Like he was chiseled out of freaking marble. Not anymore. It's like he's been fed nacho cheese the last 20 years.
Look at that stage. Look at that stage, bro. Look at the lighting. Look at the production. I think Gringo, I'm not going to lie. This is my hot take. I think You'd Be Surprised contributed to the failure of Showtime. I think Showtime went under because of these type of investments. They must imagine the amount of money they must have invested in Brendan. Imagine the salary they probably paid Brendan when he signed to Showtime. Just imagine this special plus fucking this deal in 2018. Imagine the expenditure they must have laid out on him only him alone. And they didn't get anything back. That's why Showtime went under. So fucking NJ was right. He fucking destroyed, burned, eradicated the bridge underneath him and fucked it for all coming up. All stand-up queens coming up. Fucked it up for all of them.
But yeah, I'm proud of it, you know, for sure.
Yeah,
but it's
absolutely.
like I hate everything I do, so I don't know.
We all hate
when I
everything.
do a special in 3 years, which will be way better than that one, I'm gonna hate that one. Do that stuff. You wanna go
Figure
kill
out
time.
what works first.
No, just get your reps in.
But then there's so
'Cause you're
many
not gonna be
guys-
good because you get reps in.
Yeah.
So, they say 10 years till you find your voice, but really 5 before you start.
Big up NJ. Remember the poll for if Chin was autistic or redacted? It was both. Okay. Ouch. 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 But touche. Ouch. But touche.
Start really getting an act together. But 5 years was back in the day when people were doing 1 set a night. When LA, you could do 4 or 5 sets a night. So you do 5 sets a night, you're gonna be
You're gonna see what
way
works.
better,
Yeah.
way faster in 5 years.
And
you
you
might
have to
be
eat
fucking
shit
rolling
before
in
you can
2.
get, you have to like ball.
You don't want to, by the way, that advice at the end I don't like. I think everyone should do away with this whole 10-year thing. Just try and get funny. I don't know nothing about stand-up. I'm not a stand-up comedian. I barely watch stand-up specials. But I personally think as a consumer, as a fan, as a viewer, if these guys focus more on being funny and less about giving political hot takes and less about trying to sound like a fucking intellectual, right? And less on trying to fucking cure the societal ills. If they focus on just stand-up, these motherfuckers would be great. If they just focused on fucking being funny, they'd be great. Funny, great. So don't worry about how long it takes. If it takes you 15 years, if it takes you 2 years, 4 years, don't worry. Just focus on writing jokes. Sit down and write jokes. Go outside, watch people, consume content, watch movies, go watch other people do stand-up. And then write jokes based on your experiences, based on your fucking, on whatever, on the things that you see, based on those things, and you'll be funny. But just sitting on a podcast, watching fucking Kill Tony, no, you're not gonna be funny. Go and write jokes.